Hello everybody and welcome to the Penelope Possum channel with me, your host, Penelope the Possum. Today we're going to be reacting to some tech support gore by MK. I didn't start the recording. Yay. Didn't start the recording till just this second. Oh my god. Yes, it is insane. It's also insane I somehow managed to not notice I wasn't recording up until this point. Yay.
Different lengths of cable in different quantities? Not just 515 footers?
Start over? Okay, hold on. Hello everybody and welcome to the Penelope Possum channel with your host Penelope the Possum. We're going to be watching some tech support gore from MK, or all of tech support gore from MK. Someone take my YouTuber card. This is
my space
ridiculous.
heater stopped working. What is with the space heater? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, that's not even computer gore. That's fire. That's straight up fire. Clearing coworkers' temp files today. 246 gigabytes. Yeah, that's not going in the recycling bin. That's getting immediately deleted. I don't even know what this is. This can't be video cache or something. They must have something redirected to the temp folder. Computer froze, boss. Now I know this is Photoshop because there's never been a Mac with good enough ventilation to run that cold. Plugging in your USB receiver with a hammer for that flush-mounted look. Oh, yeah,
My actual question now actually is, why do they stick out? Why do the little USB mouse adapters always stick out? It's very strange. I'm sure you could make it flush, right?
Probably past the statute of limitations, but I had a work laptop that had this. I used Logitech G602 mice, which have a receiver, and it was sticking out of the side. I was doing a wireless survey in a construction area, and I dropped the laptop on its right side.
That makes sense.
Kind of jammed it in. Wasn't as bad as this, but still. I just left it in there, and since it was my laptop, like, nobody actually noticed. My friend drilled holes in his mouse
of different
to make it lighter so it would give
here.
him an advantage. Oh, so you tried to make a knockoff of those new mice with the air. Anyways, I don't think the holes are for weight. I think they're for airflow so your hand doesn't get sweaty and slip off the mouse. And number two, mice need to be lighter or heavier depending on the player. Like the G9X came with weights to make it heavier, and honestly, as a sniper, I was a better shot with a heavier mouse. Also, please just
I think the main reason with a heavier mouse you'd be better as a sniper is that you have a bit more control over where your mouse is going.
Take a file to this, just make it a little bit smoother so it's not jamming your hand with plastic swarf. Hospital server room. Yep, this looks done wrong from the beginning.
As I said
like,
before,
whoever built this didn't realize
computer
that
rooms
Ethernet
for hospitals are terribly managed.
And that you should order different lengths of cable in different
is
quantities,
that way.
Not just 515 footers. But this will also happen in areas where downtime is really hard to get, like hospitals, because you simply don't have time to rip out everything and run it all properly, or when you're adding something, you can't unplug anything else, because you'll bring down general surgery or something like that. Ticket said camera flickers to fuzzy brown image often.
Aw, it's a fuzzy brown bird. Look, the camera has a bird in it. Well, you're gonna have to disconnect that camera. And that camera belongs to the bird now.
Yeah, the problem with really long range optics is that you can't tell what's in front of the camera, so it'll just look like the image went bad. I can't even. Yeah, this happens with Xerox.
Oh, that looks like toner, I think.
Toner cartridges. I can't tell if that's a Xerox or a Canon, but Xerox toner cartridges don't have a spring on the back door, which means that when you shove them in, the door on the back of the cartridge just opens, and if you pull it back out or if you rotate it at all, it just dumps all of the toner everywhere.
Yeah, as Lexi explained, Xerox printer toner cartridges don't have a spring on them. And for people not in the know of how general toner cartridges work, they usually have a spring on them to keep them closed. I think. That might not be the correct explanation, but I think that's genuinely right. Anyway, there's a spring and it somehow makes it not open up and spill toner everywhere. Xerox does not have that because, I don't know, they're evil. Yeah, that's right. I'm ending any possible brand deals with Xerox right here now. Okay, but what if it opens while you're changing a full one for an empty one? Which is what I think happened here. I think what was happening here is someone was trying to take an empty one, a fully empty one, and change it out for a full one, and it just everywhere, all over the place. You can see the poor person, those little shoe marks here. This person standing here. I see 2 shoe marks of the same foot. So I think as they were pulling it out, they were running away. That's my theory.
What happened to me, I stopped it before it got too bad, and really happened to one of my technicians. Customer came in with his iPhone, his glass cracked, he thought he could peel off the glass so he wouldn't notice the crack anymore. Yeah, newsflash, what do you think is under the glass? How the previous IT guy mounted the hard drive. It's right there, that's a 3.5, right on the right? That's where it goes. What is wrong with you? Okay, I might be wrong, that might be a 2.5 on the right. Still, get a conversion bracket or something. Person mistook LED polarizing film for protective plastic film and peeled it off. Oh, good job, idiot.
Okay, this one's funny. So for a long time there was a problem with, and there still is, so check your phones often. Batteries in phones, tablets, laptops, anything like that, anything that has a lithium battery, anything that has a rechargeable battery, is prone to swelling. And a swollen battery is basically a teeny tiny bomb. And that's why Samsung phones weren't allowed on planes for a really long time. I still don't know if they are.
For those uninitiated, Samsung batteries swell sometimes, the older ones. I'm not sure the fullest scope. I haven't been keeping up with it. But yeah, they swell and eventually they don't explode, but they'll pop and they'll leave lithium everywhere and can catch on fire. So it's kind of the perfect pillow print. I love this. My PC is low on space. Can you help? 234 gigs of temp. What is storing so much temp data? Like, do you guys have your downloads redirected to temp and you're downloading gigs and gigs of God knows what? I don't want to know. Also,
pictures of cat feet because people are perverts.
Oh, update your damn computer. Your updates folder, WinSXS, is caching 15 gigs of updates. May God have mercy on my soul. Oh, you sweet summer child, you ain't seen nothing. I've probably cleaned out 30 or 40 of these, varying from 2 to 5 rack long, just same colored spaghettis. I find them kind of fun. I don't know, it's satisfying once you're done. The cable of my favorite gaming mouse dragged along 300 miles of road hanging out of my car door by mistake. That's
cat Pete's. Yep. Thousands of gigabytes of cat foot pictures, cat Pete's. Because people are degenerates.
It's kind of cool, visually speaking. I'm sorry about your mouse, but maybe you'll, recognize wireless supremacy now. I pick up a...
Oh yeah, the supremacy of a mouse I have to charge and buy batteries for. Oh, it's so much better to have my mouse not connected directly to a power source where I can just... The real thing is here, how did you not notice your gaming mouse port was hanging out the car door? earlier. Like, how do you not notice something like that? How do you not have something like that packed up really well? Like, if I were to leave the house I'm living in right now, every single part of my gaming up would be packed with the utmost care. Like, my tower would be bubble wrapped all to hell. I'd uninstall the glass panel on the side because there's a glass panel on the side. And, you know, bubble wrap that all to hell. I'd put the monitors back in the boxes I bought them. I kept the boxes I bought them in case we ever have to move. I think I actually have the boxes for pretty much everything that went into my computer setup except for the individual, like, chips and cards in my computer. Because that would just be literally insane.
A stack of busted iPads almost every week from one of my middle schools. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, people were complaining about the 10th gen iPad not having the sealed edge around the screen, basically. And they do that because they sell hundreds of thousands of these to government, schools, all that stuff. And they need to be easily repairable because of this. Because kids have no idea how to treat electronics, and neither do adults. One of my coworkers was eager.
Yeah, especially middle school kids. They'll just break shit. Just for fun. I don't know what it is. I think it's a power thing. Like, I don't know. Middle schoolers are weird. Middle school's a weird time for a lot of people, and they're just doing things because they can.
To unpack her new mouse. I'm not gonna blame your coworker for this because clamshell packaging needs to die in a fire.
Yes, clamshell packaging is evil and I hate it.
And especially with wired devices, if they run the wire through any area of that clamshell packaging that is outside of the radius of the product, they deserve it. They should give you a new free mouse. That's just stupid. Oh, and can you check this?
Okay, but seriously, why the fuck is your friend buying a Logitech mouse? There's nothing wrong with Logitech. It's just, that specific mouse is like one of the not as nice ones, I think. There are better Logitech mice. That's all I'm saying. There are better mice from Logitech and other brands.
Speaker, it sounds a bit muffled. By the way, back to the Samsung battery thing.
Forbidden sugar.
Apple also has swelling batteries. This is not unique to Samsung. And I can't tell if this is lithium dust from the battery, or if this phone was in a construction environment, or if they really just like sugar. Yes, sugar. My mom didn't like the yellowed color, so she decided to put nail polish on the printer, despite my objections. Oh my god, please stop. But also, in defense of your mother, and I know I'm the one saying this, I had that exact printer in college, and yeah, that yellow gold, they were going for like a gold or something. It was ugly as hell. So like, this is actually an improvement, but please don't do this to your electronics. Enjoying my new 2 terabyte USB 3 external hard.
I would agree, unless you want to break your electronics.
Hard drive. Okay. I just bought one of those from SanDisk and yeah, this is why I only buy from, reputable disc manufacturers. If your media isn't from SanDisk or Lexar or Sony or one of the big companies, it's probably a piece of crap. If you've never heard of the company, or if all they seem to make is one specific same-looking USB drive, it's probably fake. My fan was making too much noise. I will end you. I will find you and I will end you. Customer states she could not copy files on the $60 2TB SSD from Amazon. For anybody unfamiliar, that is an extremely cheap price. And yeah, it's a knockoff Kingston USB drive in almost the same case we saw before. For price reference, on sale, I just bought a 1TB SanDisk SSD for my video capture device for about $109. And I think the 2TB was $219. So $60. Not the correct price. I was wondering why my computer had blue screens. Now I'm wondering why my computer was able to boot up at all. That's some fantastic memory redundancy there. I guess it wouldn't really matter as long as it's not writing to that particular sector of the memory at that particular time. The printer isn't working. Oh my God. Oh my.
Okay. Fun story time with this. I didn't do this. I have seen people legitimately put packs of paper still in the wrapping into printers. And I just look at them. I look at them. Yeah, numbskull. Interesting is a word for it, certainly. But like, how do they think a printer works exactly? I would love to pick what's left of these people's brains or whatever constitutes their brain, because I highly doubt people who do this have brains. I think it's just a little ball of corn syrup up there, just sitting like a little Stretch Armstrong or something. I don't know. It has to be something up there. I have to one day ask one of the people, like, if I ever see someone doing this again, I have to ask them how they think a printer works and how the paper gets out of the printer. Like, I want them to explain step by step how the piece of paper goes from a blank piece of paper to something with printing on it. I have to one of these days.
My God, I do not miss help desk. Service down. Oh, yes, it is.
Well, literally.
Somebody should probably give it some encouraging words. Professional cabling at Pepsi. Oh, my God. Yeah, see, when you're building this, there would be traces of it being done properly and then it getting messier over time. But again, Pepsi, one of those places where downtime is probably at a premium because downtime means you're not making soda. Client was upset her iPhone wasn't working properly. Diagnosis? Not actually an iPhone. What? That's a really extensive copy. Like, I guess the first tip off is iPhone S. What
Yep.
do you mean iPhone? iPhone what? S. But they went for the logo, they went for the design. Usually they try to steer clear of copyright laws, but man, they just went all out. Why is there a pillow inside my tablet? Oh no! Oh, that's not a pillow! Well, it is a pillow. Just a pillow of toxic fire. It didn't plug in, so I bent the pins to make it fit. There are different types of DVI. Stop! I had a client once that routinely broke RJ45 ports, the internet port on laptops, by shoving HDMI and USB cables into them. USB kind of fits. HDMI does not fit at all and would just wreck everything. My flash drive...
Alright, so this is user problem. The thing is, most people don't know enough about computers or anything in general like this that has like a large scope of very intricate things you can know about it to know what they don't know. So they think they know everything. Like, you can teach somebody, a person, what a USB is. And the next day, they think they're the next Bill Gates. Yeah. He thinks just because he has or knows how to use a computer that he's the best at computers.
It won't show up, and I've literally tried everything. Oh my God! Oh my God, what did I just say? What did I just say? See, USB kind of fits into RJ45. It's a shove, but it'll do it. AT&T has no idea why their DSL service is so poor. It must be my wires in my house. No, I don't think so. Yeah, they don't care enough to maintain DSL. And for those of you laughing in the back, there are areas of the US where DSL is literally all you can get. I now live in semi-rural Pennsylvania. My relatives live in rural Pennsylvania, and the only thing you can get is DSL or satellite. And satellite's $100 a month for a 5 gig data cap. So yeah, DSL is unfortunately still relevant.
How old is DSL? Does anybody here know? Like, DSL is almost like AOL levels of old internet, right? Like, where the modems would still go and connect to the phone. $20? I did not realize that DSL was still in use anywhere. I wonder what that stands for, DSL. I'm gonna
I thought that r/tech support Gora would appreciate this. Can export. Hey, the cable management on that is better than some of the other things we've seen today. Phone will not charge without pressure, so I made this. I mean, I'm actually not against this for like a few day fix, like if you're waiting on an appointment or something to get your phone fixed. This is something I do. Be like, screw it, I'll just loop it around the phone and like electrical tape it on the back just to get it so that I can use it for a few days. Permanent fix? No. When you have a VGA card with bad RAM.
Also, I'd recommend to anyone who's never looked it up, look up Thresher Shark. Spelled T-H-E-R. No. Spelled T-H-R-E-S-H-E-R. Shark. DSL means, yeah, like the actual shark. DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line. Oh yeah. I forgot that it's also short for something else.
A VGA card.
There's another meaning to DSL that's not family friendly. Let's just say the other meaning has something to do with how a woman can look and a specific part of her face and how it looks.
Card. A graphics card with a VGA port? It can cause invalid drives. I mean, that's a whole J. Like that. I'm not gonna diagnose this. I don't.
That looks like Swedish.
I don't care enough. PSN for HDMI replacement. Kid said I pushed the cable in a little too hard. A little. Just a little. Just a tiny little bit. The gore here is that this is still being used daily by my customer. Refuses to upgrade. Do they have specific like industry software or something? Or are they a writer? Genuinely, these are the two classes of people I found. That it's either BMS software tied to the building that costs.
Okay, I need to go wash my hands. I'm getting sick from how much I smell like chlorine. It is an old PC. Packard Bell, as a company, hasn't existed for a couple of years, as far as I'm aware.
Ungodly amounts to upgrade.
I washed my hands so they don't smell
like really old
anymore.
computers, not keyboards, just really old computers. Like an artist's rendition of Anxiety. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, yeah, this is pretty bad, but still, like, this just teaches you to trace cables. Like, it's bad, it's a mess. Yes, it's terrible, but like, you should still be able to find a patch in like a minute or two. Like, it shouldn't take you that long. Like, fix it. Yes. Found on the Facebook page of a computer repair service, captioned "Fixing a computer." What the? What are you doing?
Okay, that has to have been done for laughs, right? Because he's trying to solder the keyboard.
Why are you soldering? I remember that soldering iron. It was my first one. It's cheap as hell, but it works. What are you why is the computer still on? Are you seriously like repadding a space bar or something over there? Oh my god. I refuse to believe they're just making this up, because that would be even stupider to like go into an area full of people that know what they're doing and be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing too. Trying to place the GPU without unplugging the PC. Oh my god. I almost don't want to read this. Okay, fine. I tried putting my new graphics card in and couldn't get the other one out. I then stopped because I began to smell.
Where's my clay? Oops. Oh yeah, my headphones are still on the floor. Oh, they came unplugged. What? Smelling smoke is bad. Seeing smoke is worse.
Smoke and actually see it. What? Did you unplug your PC? No, why would I do that?
You fucking
Oh yeah, why
Muppet.
would you do that? I don't know. Yeah, I'm with QK Rays on this. Just holy sh. I heard he said, hey, I work in IT. Finding this in the server room made my day. Yes, there has been a hammer in my old job's IT department for almost 20 years. And I took it with me when I left, and the place is now falling apart, so maybe the hammer had something to do with it. But yes, it was the fixer. It's just like anytime there was a particularly difficult problem, I would just get up from my desk and be like, all right, I'm gonna look at it. And one of my coworkers would just lift up the hammer and be like, take the hammer. This is why you should restrict access to the server room before firing your IT guy. Oh my god. Are you serious? Oh, wait. Restrict access to the server room before firing your IT. Oh, so you fired your IT guy and you didn't immediately escort him out of the building. Boy, what did you fire him for? Because in 90% of cases, you probably deserved this. For legal reasons, this is not something I would do. For legal reasons. In the 10 years I've been in IT, this takes the cake. I'm genuinely trying to figure out what's going on here. It just looks like a really dirty computer. Oh, there's a second picture. Oh god. Oh
Ah!
no.
Ew. I know they're just crickets. I can see they're just crickets. But ew. It's a mound of crickets in a computer. How did they get in there? How did they get in there? That is terrible. It is genuinely awful.
Oh, nope. Burn that crap with fire. Oh, God. I didn't realize there were two pictures. Oh, no, man. That. Don't touch. Underneath the screen of a lot of older laptop screens. there's something called an inverter that would amp the power up for the compact fluorescent bulbs that were behind the screen before LED and IPS screens were around. And yeah, it would take your laptop power and it'd amp it way up to get the fluorescence going. And yeah, it would hurt. So I like the fact that somebody probably actually touched that on a laptop that should not have been in production to begin with, and found out the hard way not to touch inverters. What mandatory sanitizing at work did to my brand new $2,000 laptop last winter. No. Yeah, no,
yeah.
I have never been to a place. I have heard of places, but I've never been to places that like will take your laptop for any reason. I hear Duke University does it. I just wouldn't bring that laptop to the school, or it would stay in a bag or something, because there's no way in hell you're taking any of my personal gear. If you want to sanitize and do something particular to a computer, you will be buying that computer for me and I will be using it and then giving it back to you, because you're not touching my personal crap. If I have to, I will buy a cheap Chromebook and be like, yes, this is my laptop, here you go. And then you can ruin that. It's 2022, and I hate SanDisk for still using a design like this. What? Why? Oh, I see. Oh, wow, that's a very specific hatred. Okay, if it's... Some people get very mad over very specific things. I guess it's kind of annoying, I guess, but whatever. They also sell the tiny ones that are literally the nano ones that are the size of a USB port. Like, just buy the ones you want. Sorry. Work for local high school. Oh, goody. The disk drive wasn't working. Probably been there since 2012. Yes! Good job, random student from 10 years ago. This kind of stuff makes me happy. Yes, it's annoying to the IT team, including even if I worked on the IT team. Somebody played a prank and they got away with it for like 10 years. Good job. Like, well done. You had some fun. When a teacher decides to buy and install a screen protector on their own. They're not harming the device though. Like, I can't install those things for the life of me. I have to enlist the help of my wife, who actually has steady hands. But this is fine. Like, just peel it off. My grandpa thought his headphone jack was a screw hole. Why would... Okay, I have questions though. Like, why would you need to put a screw in it? Like, did he think there was a screw there and it fell out and like the phone was going to fall apart? Did this guy work on FA-18s by any chance? I know that's a very obscure joke, but look at the nose of an FA-18 the next time you're in an aircraft museum. Faulty SD card in a Raspberry Pi at the cinema. They're using a Raspberry... They're using a Raspberry Pi as digital signage, which is a great application. Digital signage is like stupid expensive and they usually want you to pay yearly for it, and a Raspberry Pi is like 60, 70 bucks. But yeah, you know, just set up an IP monitor so that you know if one goes down and then you can go replace it, or just turn off the screen until you get a replacement in. Pretty easy. Anyone want to guess what happened to the server? This is a server. Yes, really. Do not close lid. I'm getting no hints about the server. I've used laptops as servers for years, mostly when I was in late college and like my first years of being out of college and had no money. So yeah, I'm not getting any hints on what happened to the server. I'm going to go with somebody turned it into a toaster because that makes me happy. Single Cat 5 cable holding up a rack. Bless you. Bless you, random Cat 5 cable. Strong stuff. Not that I'd trust that much, but oh my god, what happened? How did you not bolt this down? Oh my god. I work in infrastructure now, which is basically servers and racks and that kind of stuff. And I used to work in networking, which was the cables itself, and oh god, every part of this hurts my soul. End user had a heater next to the PC, which was randomly shutting off, and she thought she had smelled burning a couple times. It is literally screaming. Oh my god, it is. It was literally shutting down, being like, please stop. And you melted this poor Lenovo Think Center, or whatever their desktops are called. Opened up a cheap calculator today to find out the solar strip was just a piece of plastic. That's not connected to anything. What? Oh my god, you're right. Did they just put a battery in here that like had enough juice for them to just know it wasn't gonna need it? Or someone unplugged something and now the office internet doesn't work. Yeah, you hear that sound? The sound of screaming? The sound of screaming in your dreams for weeks to come? Yeah, that's Lexi haunting you for touching something. Still though, if you work IT in this area, you should know where your uplink is, at least. But you also better be prepared for the network engineer to come bearing down on you full speed, possibly armed with a hammer. First day on the job, set up those 4 wireless speakers for you.
Antennas!
For what? Reception? Did he really think that was for like the wireless signal or something? I like how everybody else is standing around like this is a perfectly normal thing. And, sorry dude, you're fired. User spilled coffee on his laptop, so he put it in the oven to dry it out.
Alright. Confession time. I have killed a computer by spilling a drink onto it. I'm not proud of that. I never will be. It's just, it's a fact of life. I'm clumsy and I have drinks.
Oh my god, why are people so stupid? God, it looks like chips. Like the worst chips ever. It's a ThinkPad too! You bastard! Oh, you piece of absolute human garbage. You cooked a ThinkPad. I hope Taco Bell gets your order wrong for the next 10 years. I need somewhere to set this candle. Oh, here's a good spot. Christ, MK. Why did you assign me this subreddit? I know which of you assigned it to me. I'm coming for you, and I don't sleep. To ensure maximum keyboard stability, HP decided 57 screws was the magic number for the X360. It's HP. Like, I'm sorry, were you expecting some sort of competence or adequacy or general forethought? None of those are their strong points. Their strong points is it's cheap. All our data center equipment started firing off temperature alarms. Oh no. Unrelated, our cleaning staff was doing a deep cleaning of our data center after a flood. Is your cleaning staff trained in data center cleaning? Because yes, let's cover what is essentially an oven with plastic wrap. How could it possibly go wrong? Yeah, at my old job, I specifically locked the cleaning staff out of the data center for other reasons, one of which was unplugging crap. If you had a flood and you need that area deep cleaned, you get a trained data center cleaning crew, a specialized cleaning crew of some sort. IT manager's workstation. User 1 is the domain. Password hint, the same as the login name. This domain's entire existence hangs on user one on Windows 7. Do you feel secure yet? I'm trying to extract the data off this laptop hard disk. I've got as far as taking the drive apart. Well, you won't be extracting any data, will you? Do I need to take the disk off the spindle or leave it on there? Also, what drive recovery hardware and software do I use? That's my next. Jesus Christ. Yes, I know my thumbprint's on it, but I'll scrub them off. This has to be a troll post. This has to be a troll post. This can't be. Oh my god. Yeah, there's a very thin layer of air between the disk and the head, and if you open the drive, that balance is upset, and you probably aren't going to be getting a lot of data off the disk unless you know exactly what you're doing and can get the head to ride just right across the top of the magnetic disk. You're screwed. Efficient electrical ground. This is genuinely what I thought ground meant when I was like 5. I got like an electronics workstation lab thing for my 5th or 6th birthday. And I thought they meant ground, like there was just a tiny rock underneath the kit, and that was just like ground. Like it was just some random dirt. User calls about disk being stuck in another computer mentions offhand about this laptop. They had been using and charging it like this for weeks. Congratulations, your laptop is a bomb. And get the hazmat suits. Toshiba, leading innovation. Directly into Grahamtown. God, that's disgusting. User dropped it walking to the car. It came in the day after the Super Bowl. Did their
I think if I had to, I'd say IT, working IT seems like it'd be worse than just a general retail job because it's an area of extreme expertise with general retail rolled into it. And I know areas of extreme expertise like this rolled into general retail or customer service tend to not be great.
Team lose? I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. My friend kept this in his bedside table. Literally a bomb. Yep. Yeah, that's literally. Objectively a bomb. Say hello to Big Bertha, a 1.69 terabyte text file with over 108 billion.
The laptop's not broken. It's just ripe and ready for exploding. Like, you can still use the electronic while the battery is swollen. It's just not advised. It's like, you can eat. It's like, you can eat lava, but I wouldn't recommend
lines. Good lord. Did you dump an entire SQL database to a text file? Also, this would be completely useless because there would be no way to like easily parse it in a reasonable amount of time. But I like it this way. It's convenient. My tech savvy aunt. You know, she might be onto something. Like, built-in fold-down kickstand from the back of the phone, you know, maybe it would make phones actually look different for once in the last, like, 10 years. I should tell them it's not a touchscreen. No, you shouldn't. Ancient Temple of Asus. Genuinely does look like ruins of an ancient civilization. When I was little, I used to take micro machines and drive them through, like, computer PCBs, because my dad just had computer junk in the garage, and pretend they were tiny cities. So you know what? This lines up perfectly. I fully endorse it. How did this happen? A very big bird. Yeah, this is what happens when you insult Sesame Street. Apparently, putting maple syrup and a laptop in the same moving box is a bad idea. No! Really? Rest in peace, ThinkPad. I will always love you. Laptop in a non-climate controlled closet in India, left untouched for over 10 years. Is it still running? Genuinely curious. I think my dad had this laptop. 220 volt PoE injector? Oh dear sweet Jesus, no. I'm gonna take a second to explain this. PoE is power over Ethernet. It's a fairly tightly controlled system of giving wireless access points and security cameras and stuff like that power over some of the unused wires in internet cables, Ethernet. It goes from 15 watts all the way up to 60 watts. DC power. And it's very tightly controlled, like the device has to request power, etc. This is just dumping mains power, wall power, directly into tiny braided 24-28 AWG wires. And yeah, this is a Jesus cable. You will see Jesus when you plug it in. Client states, laptop behaves erratically when plugged into USB-C dock. Found your issue. What in the,
Ew.
I wanna clean my keyboard now, and I don't have this soup, dried soup in it. Keeping up with my high fiber diet. Network engineers, we gotta have a talk.
Lol. High fiber diet. Yeah.
Talk about the fiber. Is that fiber cable? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. All right. I saw a termination of there. Careful with the bend radius of that stuff. But no, I love it when network engineers make the fiber joke. I just also slightly groan every time it happens. Laptop screen upgrade. Joke. Nah, this is cool. This is it needs to be more centered and mounted. But I don't know if anybody here has heard of Cyberdex. There's a very cool website I've been a part of for ages called Hackaday, and they feature Cyberdex every once in a while. And it's basically bolted together discrete components to create your own computer laptop thing. Are they practical? Usually not. Do they have every port in existence? Yes. Do they have every part that person wants on their laptop? Yes. Just delidded my first CPU. How did I do? I'm not bad. I don't know if I've ever actually done this. I feel like I should at some point, but I don't think I've ever actually done this. Felt too bad for the hardware. An X1 Carbon, that's a very nice ThinkPad. We got in for repair with some light bleed. What in the, no. For those unfamiliar, light bleed is when an edge-lit display, or a backlit display in general, bleeds light from the edges, especially on dark screens, and you'll see like a sort of halo around the corners and stuff. This is not light bleed. This is like a dying display controller or some sort of damage to the voltage. No, I have no idea. If this isn't liquid damage, because that just causes all sorts of gremlins. This is literally a fault with random arrays of pixels getting less power than others, and it's a pretty starry background thing, but it's not at all usable for a laptop. It's 2023, and I hate SanDisk for still using a design like this. I would get mad at this, but USB hubs are $6. And I'm not one for dongle life. Like, I hate dongles. I got a laptop that has real USB ports and a real HDMI port, etc. But if you need 2 of them right next to each other, just USB hub. Not worth it. Bonfire lit. I've never played Dark Souls, and I never will. But if I remember correctly, the bonfires like save your progress and heal you up. I think this is going to erase all of your progress, i.e. data, and kill you. I have an announcement. I will no longer be letting the cats use the tuner to warm. Sorry. Got a hairball just looking at that. I'm getting tetanus from looking at that. Oh my God. Where is this? Florida? You think I'm joking, but everything rusted if you were within 5 miles of the beach. It was wild. More than just a loose...
Okay, so where did they find that? Did they get it magnet fishing? Because I've heard of people finding PCs magnet fishing. And usually there's things on those PCs that was never meant to be seen, like government files.
HDMI port? I'm surprised this thing still even works. What the frick?
Looks like salt.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use this to segue real quick into the number of problems that like really finicky devices have is made less excusable. Like if you make an unreliable device, that becomes less excusable because there are machines out there that have been through rust, been through this, been 10 years in an uncontrolled server closet, and possibly still run. So like, make good devices or don't bother. Lost one to the washing machine gods today. Why did you have a CPU rattling around in your pocket? Like, I understand like punching a hole in one and putting it on a keychain, like that's cool. But like, at that point you wouldn't be upset if it got a little scratched up. What? Why? It goes from the box to your gloved, static-free hands to the socket. The end. Someone found this by magnet fishing in a lake. Oh.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That computer probably had government files or something else on it that could incriminate.
Oh, the FBI is going to want to take a look at that.
In high places.
A funny story, a unnamed friend of mine told me at one point when they were working at a small company that did a thing that I won't say for identification. Their boss had like several computers in his office. And one day he just like randomly sold the company and just left. And they didn't hear from him anymore. And they went in there and they started like poking around on the machines. And there was like stuff from the Department of Defense and stuff like that on them. And they just quietly turned everything off, took everything out back, threw all the parts into the dumpster, took the hard drives, I think drilled holes in them and then just like burned the crap. I don't remember what they did, but they just destroyed it as much as possible. We're like, we're all just gonna agree that never happened. RTX 3080 Ultimate. Gore Cooling Edition. That's enough sauces. That's enough sauces. You can't just keep strapping crap to it if your case doesn't have enough cooling. You just need a better case. My Lenovo Yoga started shutting down randomly. It then went all Matrix on me before dying completely. Aw. Oh yeah, that's a GPU. That's a shame. I have one of those. It used to be my like consulting carry everywhere laptop. Customer complained about poor internet connection. Patch cable sitting on the electric baseboard heater just might have been the issue. Oh goodness.
That's a fried
cable. Yeah, you can't really start complaining about crosstalk when the entire cable is warmed soup. Spilled acetone on my laptop. Oh, I'm sorry. And now it's mocking me. Wow. Well, spill more. Finish it off. My mom hasn't cleaned her computer since the day she got it, and she got it 6 years ago. Okay, this depends on the cleanliness of the house, because I definitely have computers I haven't cleaned in probably 2 or 3 years. But they're fine, because I have the magnetic dust screens and stuff on them, and I can see through the window, and I think they're fine. This, on the other hand, this raises questions about what else is your mother breathing in? Because every time you see the inside of a computer, like, you're breathing that stuff in too. Is this how monitor arms work? Okay, I didn't know there were 3 images, and I recorded a whole thing for the first one. because I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And then I realized there was a second image in which they turned the VESA thing into a table. Okay, fine. And then the third one in which they put a non-VESA monitor onto the table. And look, I'm all for using VESA things in creative. I use a VESA mount with a tray for my laptop. I use VESA mounts to hold a strap on the back of my iPad that is also a hand strap for when I carry it. This is not one of those times. FTP server in a client's mop and broom closet. It's always the client mop and broom closet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a, oh God, that's a Dimension 4100 or GX260? Oh God, no, it's smaller than that. Oh, I have no idea what that is. Too damn old is what it is. That is the technical term for it, is too damn old. The amount of things done to this GPU, and it's still functional. See? I spelt coffee on my GTX 1060. What do I do? Oh, this one. It's been like 6 months. I haven't cleaned it in like 3 years, to be honest. There's most likely a mouse in the PSU shroud. Sport team. Oh, it also got flooded like 2 years ago. How TF do you even? A fire sprinkler went off on it. Just get this guy like an Itronics Go Book or some other military laptop because clearly he lives in a war zone. USB 3 connector. Oh no. Okay, all right, I'm gonna explain. You see the blue thing on the left? That has a bunch of pins or JST, I think they're JST connectors now. And they go into the cable and the whole thing just broke off. It is gone. It no longer work.
Yes, it is broken.
The best NAS. Oh, I gotta send this to people at work. Oh my God. This isn't real. This isn't real because it's a hard drive and that would have a SATA connector and a power connector and that just has an Ethernet line going. It could be a Raspberry Pi in there. Just, oh God. Business grade is usually 48 plus ports. Need 44 more of these. Oh my sweet Jesus Christ. Oh, this hurts No! Are you power lining? Okay. Sorry, technical explanation. I know some people like the tech explanations, but I still feel bad sometimes. These are power line adapters, I think. And what they do is they modulate the power inside the wires of a circuit, like all the outlets in a specific room, or sometimes you can kind of get it through a house, so that you can have Ethernet through the power lines, and you put another one of these on the other end to catch the modulated signal. And like, I have a set, you can use them for like one-off things, like you use them for some back then stuff. It's not like a reliable thing, it's not a great thing, but it's cheaper than a couple $1,000s to run cable, especially in buildings where you don't necessarily own the rights to drill through walls. This person has 4 of them. I didn't know you could stack them. I thought it was one and done, like 1 pair per circuit, but this person has 4 and are just using it as a switch, and I am terrified. The Wi-Fi card doesn't see any network. Can you fix it? A good place to start when hooking up your Wi-Fi antenna is to hook it up to the antenna ports. I forget what these are called, RS something something. But the little tiny ones, little tiny circles, the ones that these will actually clip into, that's where the antenna goes. I believe the other 2 are grounded screw mounting positions. Who put this together? NAS went down last night.
Someone who doesn't know
needs
enough
cooling?
about.
That giant fan thing shouldn't be up, you know, on top of the CPU or anything. Did it take all your RAM with it, or did you just pull out all the RAM? Or no, never mind. Sorry, there's 2 sticks there. They just blended in. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, you had to have dropped it.
Oh no, this is probably painful to Erin Jess 76. She knows about cameras. I know. You just explode upon seeing it.
Oh God. Yeah, camera stuff. As a YouTuber, I have some camera gear. It's very expensive. I have like 3 lenses for my giant Sony camera, and almost all of them cost more than a laptop. So this is just heartbreaking. I'm sorry for your loss. Old laptop that I striped served me well, lasted surprisingly long on my wall. Oh, you stripped it. Yeah, no, there are some laptop boards that'll just run for ages. And especially if you yank them out of the case like this and give them all the cooling they can eat, the heat is the death of laptops. Like if you can get your laptop well ventilated, it'll last much longer. This poor laptop had a very negligent owner. The last one, because, never mind, sorry. How many times did they hit the enter key? And I almost want to say they were video editing because I and O, in and out points, are really beat up too. What in the world? I would also question like what the laptop owner was doing, because if they're working in construction or something like that and the laptop is going to get used to heaven and back, like some laptops aren't going to look pretty, you know, after they've been on a construction site for 3 years. Hey, how do I put this thing into another thing? Well, let's see here. What thing are you trying to, oh no. Oh, you don't. No, you don't. No. I think my PSU has some kind of error. Ah yes, the red square of doom. You have to be particularly careful with this one. Sometimes it can delete your house. If you ever encounter this kind of error, you can fix it by leaving very quickly. Does anyone know how to delete data after the hard drive starts to bloat? What do you mean bloat? Like bloatware with, oh. That was never a hard drive, that was a battery. And now I believe it identifies as a spicy, angry beanbag. Funnily enough, the solution for this problem is also leaving very quickly. There's a lot more running away in IT than you think there would be. A Cat5e cable I found under a rug where the user sat and wheeled over it all day, every day for years. The whole cable looked like that. Look, there's more spaghetti inside the spaghetti. If you're sitting there and thinking, how on earth could this still work after it looks like fruity dental floss? Cat5e cable, which is just category 5e, has 8 wires in it. Those 8 wires are divided into 4 twisted pairs of wires. And this is done for specific reasons I'll explain in a different post. But these wires are fairly thin, solid core copper wires, and they're about the same as what was used for telephone for many years, for landlines. And in many buildings, it was never protected. Telephone's lines were just stranded through the walls. Sometimes you would get lucky, yes, and somebody would have done it properly. But I've seen the inside of many walls where it's just the strands. Cat5e cable has 4 pairs of these inside another insulated jacket, and on top of that, you only need 4 of the wires and you can get away with 2. So because there's so much durability baked into this cable, it can put up with a surprising amount of abuse, or end users, and still be fairly functional, at least for business applications. Anyways, thank you for sitting through my love letter to Ethernet cable. Coworker decided to wipe the monitor with Clorox bleach wipes. Yeah, this happened a lot during the pandemic. A lot of people found out that you couldn't wipe MacBook screens with them either. I saw a few screens survive it. I think it depends on the concentration of the bleach in the Clorox wipes. But yeah, rough time for all hardware. Mullet PC, business in front and party in the back. That is absolutely fantastic. There's been a trend of buying Optiplex towers, which are small machines designed for business use, but a lot of them have really good CPUs. However, they don't have the room for a big giant graphics card, which would make them good for gaming. So people have just been cutting the side of them out and shoving in a GPU or using extender cables to rest the GPU on top or something. I'm calling them mullet PCs from now on because that's just a perfect description. Lots of nice comfy pillows for the best nap you'll ever have. Also the last nap you'll ever have. I have no words. Okay, this is not tech support, Gore. I'm putting a big doubt in this. That is a custom 3D printed fan grill. Somebody saw Linus Tech Tips modded to hell Steam Deck and added their own cooler to it and did the same exact thing. And the fact that they have a 3D printer, like they knew what they were doing. This was not brought into tech support like, oh, my Steam Deck doesn't work. This was you walked past it and were like, holy hell, what happened? And the guy immediately just started spouting benchmarks. I installed the GPU and it's not working. I know this is an IT technician taking the piss, but it still makes me a little bit mad. For reference, many servers have modular inner cages so that you can pull them out and put different types of drive bays in them. It's usually for storage. Very rarely it will be for power, for switches. At no point will you be sliding a GPU into the front of a server, or if you do, you will be very disappointed. Decisions were made, and I apologize for nothing. Did you buy the wrong size hard drive? Don't lie to us. It's okay. You bought it's okay. Honestly, this one isn't that bad. Like in all seriousness, the plate carrier for something like this, there's probably an adapter out there for this. It probably costs like $7 or $8. This works just fine. You're not pinching it. It's fine. It's for home use. This is fine. Have you tried turning it on and off? Oh.
Ooh, hot. Very hot.
It was on at one point. I hope it's never on again. From a WikiHow page on replacing a Cat5e cable. Okay, this kind of repair is called a splice, where you strip enough wire on both sides to make, I believe it's called a lineman's knot. I just do it by memory at this point. It's decent enough for things like power, but it can be very inconsistent for things like data. For home use, if this is a cable that you ran inside your wall and you don't want to rerun it, or it's just going to your TV so that it, feeds your smart apps or something, it's not mission critical. This is genuinely fine. Like, it's not that bad. As long as the cable is solid core and not braided core, you can do this and get away with it. And genuinely, like, you shouldn't be rerunning an entire cable if this will fix your problem. In an enterprise setting, you rerun the entire cable. If it's a patch in the wall and this happens, you rerun the cable. That's how you fix it. You do not pull BS like this, because it will fail. It'll be unreliable. You'll be chasing gremlins all day long, and then you realize that one of the twists inside one of those heat shrinks is just slightly loose, and it's dropping its signal, and you will never find it. You will never find it again. I was called into work because our VoIP phones were down, and I passed by this. Yeah, if you pull up to your job because things are broken, and the first thing you see is a blue screen on the sign, just pull over and sign back into LinkedIn for the first time in 2 years, and start looking for a new job, because
yeah, if I ever came to work and the first thing I saw was a blue screen of death on my terminal, that would be the moment where I took off my hat, turned in my badge, and moseyed on out of there and went off to a different town to become the sheriff. Yeah, and quit. Give 2 weeks notice right there, and then just pen it up.
It's not worth solving that. Customer, my laptop turns off after 1 or 2 minutes after I press turn on button. Turn on button. Okay. We diagnosed laptop and found that after a few seconds, vent of the laptop gets to 75 Celsius. Ow. So, opened the laptop, okay, and found piece of carpet, brand cat and human carpets, locking the cooler. Yup, that'll do it. And here's a problem. I have always said that, like, the back of laptops should just drop right off. I have a blade, Razer Blade 14, and it's just a few screws and the entire back pops off, and you can clean everything very easily. I don't, and nobody else should, ever expect an end user to disassemble their laptop down to that level to be able to get to there to clean out a fan. And a home laptop is going to be an environment with pets. Like, you can't be like, oh, you shouldn't have a cat, or like, you shouldn't have cat hair in your home. This is a problem that laptop manufacturers need to have easily serviceable areas. Now, I'm not sure if they had to tear down the laptop all the way to there to get to that ball of fluff. Like, maybe it's slightly more, but still, it's on the inside. Like this, if it's not just removing one panel and cleaning out, it's too far away. Ooh.
Which one happens more?
Fluffy pillow. Aw, it's like a sauce packet of sin and punishment. Costco playing fast and loose with cable management. Oh, that's my. Oh, what is that? That door is locked, not for security, but for your safety. Because I'm pretty sure if we opened that homunculus glob of copper would come to life and start puppeting all the customers in the store before stealing all the rotisserie chickens and running off into the wilderness. CCTV is not working properly. Please fix. Well, they tried. On the left is an outdoor Ethernet cable that has a screw-on shielded cover so that you can have the cable coupled and it'll still be weatherproofed. On the right is just a regular cable without the other half of the connector. There's two parts to this. You need to make a little capsule to keep the connector dry and protected. That's just half of it. How hard do you have to shove an Ethernet cable to get the port to break? My guess is that it wasn't so much that it was shoved, is it either was pushed up against a wall, like it was under a desk and somebody kicked it, or it fell off a desk with the ports down and the Ethernet cable shoved the port back into the machine. That's my guess. This is what the underneath of the front desk looks like at the restaurant I work at. Oh, restaurants are notorious. We don't use that printer, but it has to be plugged in and have paper or the entire point of sale system won't work. Yeah, point of sale systems are awful, just in general. Hey, I fixed one of those.
Also, it's funny because point of sale systems are often called POS systems. And I think we all know what POS also stands for. Yeah, it sucks that was happening at work. Yeah, if I had to, if I had $1 for every time a POS system went down, and I'm not talking the other POS, I'm talking point of sale system went down, for no reason, I would have enough money to comfortably retire and become a streamer 24/7. Ah, okay. Alright.
This is not the worst cable nest I've ever seen, but I am sorry that it's your problem. Someone on Facebook posted this after saying his charger kept getting taken at work. I mean, it's better than running 2 thin strips of foil down each side, but now you've just donated your charger to work. Why don't you just replace the outlet with one of those ones with the USB ports in it at this point? If maintenance hasn't smacked you for super gluing that into that, I don't think they would have cared or noticed if you replaced the entire outlet with one that had 2 USB ports. Family wanted a 24/7 Minecraft server, more powerful than a Pi and more efficient than a desktop. What is is this a headless ThinkPad? Oh my god, I think it is. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that charger terrifies me. Yeah, that's the old ThinkPad charger. This
terrifying.
Is like the T4, T40, T41. Yeah, it has the beautiful keyboard. Okay, sorry, I'm geeking out over the laptop. I love ThinkPads, but you all knew that. You can rip off most of the stuff of a laptop and use it as a server. I have seen it done. I have done it before in a pinch for like 3 days. And it is way more efficient. Like, a lot of these consume 65 watts or less. I proudly present the RS-232 Unfunker 3000. Oh my sweet lord. Holy hell. All right, this is getting into explanations. RS-232 is a serial protocol, which basically means you can send data between 2 computers on a wire, but only one thing at a time, and at an agreed upon speed. So you set the speed up on both sides and they send ones and zeros, and that's it. It's a very bare metal. It's still used a lot in building management, industrial, stuff like that, because it's very reliable and basically bulletproof. It's not very fast, but sometimes you don't need to transmit a lot of data. Getting a reliable serial connection through USB, especially with some older devices, can be a challenge. Because half the serial readers don't work right. It's just always a nightmare. And sometimes the thing you're connecting to can't have its settings changed, and it doesn't have its settings in a way that your thing supports. So you just get garbled mess because you're reading either at the wrong speed or the wrong pinout or the wrong whatever. So this monstrosity, it appears, it's a little blurry, but by breaking out all of the wires, you can rewire the serial connection to be the correct way around, because it's still just 1 0 1 0 1. It doesn't matter where you put it. So that's that breakout board in the middle with the tiny white wires in it. Then it's going through this thing. I'm not even sure what that is. I think it might be a tester.
Yeah, it says check tester. It's a little crunchy, but you can see it.
Comes back down to 9-pin serial and then goes into their USB adapter. You see that in the bottom right, and then they can actually read the serial. And just one of the joys of Ethernet instead of serial is there's something called automatics or auto negotiation, where the switch and the port will figure out what wire they've all agreed on and what speed they're going to agree on all automatically, so that when you plug in a cable, it just starts talking. And that tiny bit of additional tech is just such a lifesaver because serial doesn't have it. and you end up doing this. By the way, if you like these kind of long-form Lexplanations posts, I'm actually starting a series called Lexplanations on my own channel, The Lexikitty. If you want to learn some of the ins and outs of IT and maybe have a laugh, or if you've got scars from years of tech experience and want to cry a lot, we'll be digging into hardware gore, software gore, tech support gore, all that good stuff in a very friendly, let's learn something together kind of way. So yeah, that'll be on my channel, The Lexikitty. It's said that the printer broke, so they had to drill maintenance hole. What? Yes, it's a piece of cardboard, supposedly to prevent dust from getting in. What? If the environment is that dusty, you shouldn't have a printer in it, either an inkjet or a laser. Neither of them are going to like it. It protects the drive from dust. For those that are unaware, SSDs get hot and need to ventilate. This would be like putting a person inside of plastic packaging, being like, they are protected from dust. They do look a little warm though. Well, there's the problem. Oh my God. What did you... What the hell? What?
Oh my goodness. That is a hole in a circuit board. How?
What did you do? No, this is not normal. What? This much power traveling through this board should not... No! I can do words, I promise. I swear I can do the best words. Better than any other... yes! Rule 0, do not be on fire. Airflow improved. This is harmless. You know what? After what I've seen today, this is great. This is fine. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you for doing something that isn't trying to kill someone. My computer shuts down when I play PUBG. Probably a good sign to stop playing PUBG. Sorry, I'm just hating on what... Oh, God! What is that? That's not just melted... Something is alive in there. No, that has sentience. Kill it. User didn't know it was a locking connector and just pulled at the cable as hard as they could. I hate to be like, my dad told me a thing. But my dad did tell me a thing. Don't force anything with technology. Like, if you're forcing it, you're doing something wrong. There are exceptions, of course, when you're disassembling stuff, you have to like really pry stuff off. But like in normal end user facing operation, if you are pulling with more than 5 pounds of force on anything, something's wrong. Stop, get some help, preferably.
Yeah, I think that rule also applies to just about most things. If you have to try to force something, then you're doing something wrong.
Experienced help. The ceiling leaked all over the computers at work. Oh no. My desk at my old job used to be directly under our cooling unit for the server room because we worked in the server room. Yay. And during the summers, sometimes it would freeze up and it would back up and it would rain on my desk. That was fun. Funnily enough, because of the way these things usually like rain down, the computers actually usually turn out okay. Just like turn all of them off immediately, but they're usually fine. That remote is the best thing I've ever seen. You know, I'm not actually gonna hate on this because I've been trying to figure out a way to collect all those tiny little LED remotes, like the tiny little credit card sized ones. They're too dang small, and I just want to like assemble them all. So I got a bunch of magnets. I'm gonna put them on like a piece of metal. It's more aesthetically pleasing than that, but just make it bigger, like assemble them all in one place. Cause I'd lose that tiny thing like 2 days in. Riddle me this. Yep. What happens if you touch ground connector on both sockets simultaneously? All right, I don't do electrical, like I don't wire up electrical, but the first problem I'm seeing is that the ground is not in the same place. Assuming your ground is green, you've got it wired to center on the left and you got it wired to right on the right. You should probably pick one. It should always be the same. When I play games, my computer crashes. I built it myself. I've done it several times, so I know I did it right. My friend that builds computers helped. So when you turn on a computer, sometimes it makes heat. I'm sorry, I'm being mean. I will not do that. There's a compound called thermal paste, or thermal compound, that sucks heat. I'm being loose with the definitions here. From the CPU into a cooler or a liquid cooler or a big fan. It's like a giant silly hat for a CPU that makes it cool. But in the temperature sense, there's a whole big debate over thermal paste, and honestly, as long as you have an evenly applied layer, it's fine. But if you don't have enough, not enough of the heat will come out of the CPU, especially when it's under load. When it gets under load, it'll get very hot, and you won't be able to get all that heat out of the CPU fast enough, and you'll experience a thermal failure or a thermal shutdown, where the thing powers down to save itself. A lot of modern CPUs, you can't melt them. Well, you can if you try, but like the most cases, they'll shut down before they melt themselves. The old ones, you can melt them. You just keep going right on. Oh, it's not cooling. Oh boy, it's getting hot. Oh, that's a puddle of metal. Whoops. So my cooler's fan broke, and I had an idea. Plus cat. No, do not involve the cat. Oh, there's the cat. Okay, the cat's safe. All right, good. Do not involve the cat in any CPU cooling, please. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what you did. You said the cooler fan broke, and you had an idea. Sometimes I feel more blind than others. Did you just replace the fan? I'm terribly sorry. I'm missing what's going on here. If your CPU cooler's fan broke, I would assume you would just replace the fan on it. But I'm guessing there's more to this post than I know about, so I am sorry. My friend tried to remove the scratches on his iPod with sandpaper. It looked. Oh my god, on top of the touch wheel and everything. It looks industrial, I'll give him that. The back of my iPod Touch is all screwed up because I like landed on it during a bike accident, but it still doesn't look that bad. Airdrop! Yeah, I think they fundamentally misunderstood how that worked. Student spilled nail polish on computer. Mother tried to clean it and washed off 26 keys. Oh no! Yeah, the nail polish honestly would have been fine. The acetone is what did you in. Good lord. The hard drive was clicking. Yeah, I had an IBM Travel Star. 20 gig hard drive in one of my laptops. I came home from summer camp. It had all the pictures, all the memories from 7 weeks at summer music school. And I booted it up to back everything up. Heard a couple clicks and then just this horrible as the hard drive did exactly this. Fun times! Computer lab, after the flooding of the University of Tasmania. And the flood had to be that much of a jerk to be like, no, screw all your computers, but we'll pretend, like, we'll stop right above the monitor line. All things being said, though, this actually doesn't look like that bad. The lock on this safe that holds laptops at my school.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly explosion.
It's just the electronic mechanism. You still have to get inside to actually control the thing, I hope. Customer, battery doesn't last long. That's not a battery, that's a pack of gum. Friend's laptop was sent back like this from Razer. Oh no. Oh man, Razer's always been good to me. I just switched to them from ThinkPad. Oh. Hopefully this was a one-off, or it was damage in shipping. It doesn't look like it was damage in shipping. We understand the words in this job ticket, trampoline online, but they did not make sense until we got there. Had no idea you could stream a trampoline. Working IT at a high school. Kid left his Chromebook on a lit stove. Did we see this before, or just did another high school student cook their Chromebook? Look, I don't care if you don't like Chrome. Stop trying to turn it into Firefox. Like, that's not how you do it. It's not by setting it on fire. This doesn't look like much, but this little asphalt repair destroyed a 1,200-foot fiber run. Easily looking at $20,000 repair. Yeah, yep. I'm amazed that they were able to find the fiber line, because fiber lines, even big ones, are not large. 2 or 3 inches across. They had to find that and do asphalt repairs specifically on that, and then sever all of the glass connectors.
Yeah, that's why you don't cook where you're stoned. Things like that happen.
Happened at least once a year in New York. Visited Grandma and confiscated this one. Another bomb. Grandma's got a grenade! I left my old MacBook on my shelf and didn't use it over 1 year. That's what happened. My God. I don't know if I'm just lucky or if I guess I have a stack of laptops over there, some of which I have not touched in like 4 years, and none of them are like this bad. That's, wow. Is that an OEM battery? CS device fell into a machine. I don't actually know what a CS device. Oh, customer support maybe? I don't know. That's a lathe, I'm guessing. But the machine was hungry.
Oh, you think that's the worst so far? Oh, you do not know.
Thousands of dollars worth of computers with no packaging material. Yep, on the plus side, they are ThinkPads. So honestly, you're probably good. But I assume this is, you've bought bulk refurb off eBay. My hard drive died and I tried to fix it, but got stuck. Can you recover the data for me? What data? You have some very expensive coasters. Braided cable is not what they meant. No! Oh, this is an affront to all that is holy and unholy. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. Okay, I'll explain. When you have two very thin wires next to each other, you can get something called crosstalk, which means that electrical signals create a little field and they'll interfere with signals on another wire. There's a very specific way that cables are designed and made for data, called a 568A and 568B standard. That prevents this as much as possible, and then certain types of cables have little plastic pieces to prevent crosstalk even more, and they're shielding and all this. This just breathe. This is a crosstalk generator. This is just everything will be screaming at each other all of the time. It's a tiny Tesla coil of disappointment. Oh, I hate it. Impressive, but I hate it. Did it arrive as expected? I'm not sure how many surfaces it was supposed to end up as.
Hey, are you sure the one that probably fell into a lathe or a sawzall is still the worst one? Because I'm pretty sure this one takes the cake! Look at that! Look at that! I know you wish you weren't. But we're all looking at it. We're all here on the nope train. Yeah, but it could have easily been yours. That's the thing. That's what the worst part of this subreddit is for me. Is that any of these things could happen to anybody. Yeah. If I came home one day to find something wrong with my computer, that'd be it. That'd be the day I freaking snapped. Where'd the audio go? Oh.
A keyboard after 20 months of gaming. You use X to crouch? Heretic. The grooves promote cooling. Die. No, you know, I'm just gonna let Linus Tech Tips rip into this one. I'm not even gonna touch it. Daily reminder to clean your motherboard. I will find you and everyone you have ever loved, and make them all drink the soapy water you just put your motherboard in. 3 screens and 0 mounts. Oh, did they just leave it like that? That's a lawsuit. User put in a help desk ticket. My mouse does not work. I've tried replacing the batteries and it still does not work. Oh, okay, we'll just take a look at... What did I say last episode? Why do people keep plugging USB things into Ethernet ports? We're lucky enough to have Ethernet ports to begin with on, like, the few laptops that have them left. Please stop. How my coworker removes RAM. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, yeah, for the uninitiated, the white tabs are supposed to click out and the RAM comes out. The black part is supposed to stay on the motherboard because it is attached to the motherboard, and it's not supposed to come off. If it has come off, you are going to have a very bad day. My friend at uni found a Wi-Fi cable. Oh, okay, well, there are RF antenna and extended cables and Wi-Fi cable. What? The orange-colored network, why is that in quotes, cable, Located below can be used as an alternative to the normal Wi-Fi service. You have ClearPass or the Ruckus version of. You have something that makes you log into the Wi-Fi. UC library, and you don't know what a network cable is. My brother-in-law bought a cheap 2 terabyte SSD, but he said it was slow and not working properly. So he wanted me to check it out. And is it a USB drive? Is it a USB drive? No, it's 4 USB drive. What? You went through the trouble of like raid zeroing 4 USB drives to sell a cheap SSD. Just make an SSD at that point. Like, this is too much work. Found this on site yesterday. I have no words. Oh, I do. It's bring me the freaking infrastructure engineer who signed off on this when the building was built. God's name. Oh. What is this? Also, your battery needs replacing. But yeah, I hope they have port security turned on, because otherwise, just like, hey, can I just use your bathroom? I'm gonna plug into your network, and it's over for you. Why my keyboard doesn't work? We'll send you whatever deity you choose. I'll let you pick. It'll be nice. It'll be pleasant. It will be quick and swift and destructive. A friend of mine is a nurse, and family brought this in to be given to a patient. Did they hate the patient? Okay, winding back 2 steps. I can't quite make out the model number, but this is either a T or an whatever the education series is. This is not a bad laptop. Like, it's the condition it's in. I'd classify this as a biological weapon. Taking 5-year-old SSDs out of 8-year-old laptops to make some 10-year-old desktops less crap. That is all of higher ed. That is literally all of higher ed in a nutshell. Like, just scrapping slightly less crap to put on crap to make it slightly less crap. Have you tried turning it off and on? Yes, that's how I got the Doomslayer. Sup. Customer put toilet paper between the CPU and cooler because he read online it was almost as good. You get that from a Facebook group? I'm surprised it didn't just ignite, but I guess the flashpoint of toilet paper is probably upwards of 400 Fahrenheit. I hate people. Custom painted Surface Pro 4. Now, I'm not against painting laptops. It can turn out really cool. And, oh dear God, what in the... Did you give a toddler a can of spray paint? And like an alphabet puzzle? And
I would not recommend.
I forget how much these are. The pros are pretty expensive. What is wrong with you? Stop. Get some help. This is not the way to transport your company's equipment, unless it's being recycled. In which case, like, some of this, I can't tell from the backs. Like, hang on, there should be some drive caddies in the back for SS. Yeah, no, no, there are some. No, there's still some drives in there. No, that might be live equipment. Dear God. I'm just gonna hope it's being recycled. That's all I'm gonna do. My PC went turn on. Not sure why I made that so whiny. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, this is not the customer's fault. Like, if you... No, I'm not gonna blame the customer or end user on this at all. Because there is a reasonable expectation that if you plug a power cable into a power supply, it will not melt. 3 weeks ago, during a road construction, an excavator ripped off
things you plug in won't
backbone of our neighborhood. This 96 core cable has been laid down but hasn't been terminated. 136,000 people have no internet connection since then. Yeah, yep. I'm surprised they have just the fiber just sitting out there like this. It's definitely not New York City. And another small explosive. The Forbidden Capri Sun. Hey, if you pop it, you enter third-person view. Saw this under the aesthetics tag on Pinterest. Oh no. Wait, no, this is the same laptop, isn't it? This laptop, if I remember correctly, belongs to a painter. This was intentional. This is fine. This is the laptop that they actually use in the studio and they work with large format canvas. This is fine. I'm genuinely okay with this because it's a computer running in a rough condition. It should be able to do that. Middle school kids managed to get into library and treated the projector like a piñata. I can't say what I feel like you should do to the middle schoolers because somebody will get mad. But I feel like the projector has some ideas and we should hear the projector out. I straightened bent pins with tweezers, but it won't work afterwards. Oh my lord. I admire your dedication in trying to fix it. You can bend pins, by the way. Like, if you bend a few on the corner, you can fix it, and like very, very carefully. So like, the idea was sound. but there's just too many. How about a warm graphics card backplate? Why is this tech support card? This is cute. I hope the card isn't too hot for the kitty, but I assume the kitty would, leave. That was the case. This is fine. I know there are going to be purists that are like, oh, there's lint in my computer, and oh, I'm losing 3 degrees because there's cat fur, and those people should go outside and maybe pay less attention to the piece of circuitry that draws triangles very, very fast in a metal box on their desk, and instead pay attention to the kitty. Just pulled 4 discs and a debit card out of their PS4. I'll take houses with small children and unprotected electronics for $300, please. This sums up how last week went. Computer was in backpack on top of car, fell off, and then was run over by multiple vehicles. Me too, computer. Me too. My girlfriend's Xbox 360 hard drive was rattling. Can I recover the data? No. No, you cannot. The way the electrician repaired his own mistake at my home without notifying me. Optical fiber entry link. Oh no, they should notice. Did you just cold? Jesus. Okay, that's a cold splice, which is a tiny thing that you put for electrical connections, and then you cramp it down really hard, and it has conductive gel in it, and it splices cables without you having to twist anything together. A fiber optic cable is light. It is light. It does not.
Light don't bend.
You're just aiming laser light into jelly. My last office, we had one of these up on the break room fridge. System restore disk. Do not erase. Erase now. I mean, these are just obvious jokes at this point. Thanks for packaging my drives up, Amazon. No problem. Wait, no, this is, oh, weird. Oh, okay. So an addendum to this one. There's supposed to be a cardboard insert that kind of, I've ordered drives like this, and they come in this package, but there's a cardboard insert around it that kind of suspends the drive in the middle. They forgot that part. Clearly. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Had a feeling this belonged here. Router card. Large Wi-Fi router guard cover. Blocks about 90% of Wi-Fi router EMF, while you can still use the router. Blocks 5G. Okay. This is a Faraday cage. For the uninitiated, Faraday cages block a lot of radio signals, depending on how big the little holes are. If you want a sort of example of this, go look at your microwave, and it has a bunch of little holes, and those holes are smaller than the microwave wavelengths, so that it doesn't come out and cook you. It just cooks your food. This is sold as, these are sold as a fear-mongering thing. There are legitimate uses for them, but this is a fear-mongering thing. Your router will still work, and I am of 2 minds of this, because if you're in an apartment building with lots of people, and everybody buys home routers designed to cover entire suburban houses, everyone should turn down the power on their Wi-Fi routers, because it doesn't help their signal and it just interferes with everybody else. So if you put your router in one of these and you're paranoid, you could still use it if you were like 5, 10, 15 feet away. It would be fine. And people around you would not have to worry about the channel interference from your router being on too high of a power setting from the factory or Best Buy or wherever. So I'm kind of in favor of this. I mean, if you want better signal, you just take it out of the box. Like, this is that's not how this works. Please shut down computers after each use. It will help keep them running virus-free. No. In fact, if there's a virus already loaded and you reboot the computer, it could propagate. This must be by the same person that wrote the sign for the Wi-Fi cable. I said to delete the data, not destroy 4 SAS disks. Well, what security clearance was the data at? Are those bullet holes? I can't tell if those are drill press or bullet holes. They look concerningly like bullet holes. But yeah, if you're just deleting the data to reformat and add in a partition, it's going to stay in the same, security environment, sure. If you're deleting data to then move those drives somewhere else, no, they 26 pass erase and a 9mm. I try to do the right thing, but my family is a bunch of savages. There's a USB port. You're right, frickin' dirt. I know how this happens though. Like, your phone's dying and you go and you grab a charger, apparently a really old 5-volt charger, slowest one on earth, from like upstairs, and you're already holding the charger and the cable, and you just plug it in. You need to get charging cables. This is what I did. You need to get charging cables and plug them in there and just leave the cables there, and then people will actually use them. That's what I found. Micro SD in an SD card adapter, in an SD card to USB adapter, in a USB 2 to USB 3 adapter. Thanks, Apple. What is a USB 2 to USB 3? You know they sell USB-C to SD card readers, right? Like, that's a thing. And if you're running a USB 2 card reader, like, you're not using SD cards a whole lot, because holy crap, that would take forever for like 10 minutes of 4K video. Shout out to the cell phone repair shop that quote-unquote worked on this Xbox Series X before it came to me. Oh, that's a burn trace. Good lord. Yeah, and just a glob of sauce. Okay, so to explain this, there are burned, the little white teeth thing in the top left-hand corner. All those teeth should be exactly the same. There's a burned one. It's just gone. The solder on the left and right, that should be clear and look kind of like a Hershey Kiss. It's cloudy and cracked and it just looks terrible, which means the solder was usually too cold. I'm not even sure what they were trying to attach. Like, what is this mess of ribbon? I feel like I'm seeing carnage and I still don't know like what happened in the accident. But yeah, get your stuff repaired at a reputable shop, like an actual reputable shop. If it seems too cheap, it's not worth it. Don't do it. DJ Fire Hazards setup. Oh, DJ Fire has I thought that was an actual DJ or something. I mean, he's outside. You know, it's fine. I don't care. It's not gonna be my blown up stall thing. Even got the backup. Why is all of this in the, is this, oh my God, is this a child again? Oh, I didn't scroll up. I'm sorry, this is a tweet. Shouldn't have cheated. Wow. No, you know what, that's justified. Yeah, that's appropriate. As long as you finish it off with arson. Burn the whole house down. Returned AirPod Pros to an Apple disposal center in Shenzhen. I hope I pronounced that right. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I know they can't be like resold or anything, like, because they go in your ears, but that, so weird. Kind of cool. I hope they can harvest like some of the batteries and stuff though. Customer describes a slight burning smell. Yeah, I'm thinking the pancake destroyed a lot more people's sense of smell than we currently realize. We're gonna be finding that out as we go along. Okay, this is a repeat, but I did take this exact image to my work colleagues, and I just posted it with very little context or anything, and it just caused pain for everyone. It was lovely. Some people, yeah, these people make, I try not to judge people's, you know, use whatever you want, use Mac, PC, you know, don't argue, I don't care. But people that do this, it's just lazy. Stop. One of our managers combined their modem and router because he wanted the speed to be better. Well, I know this was for a long time ago because that's one of the old links. But yeah, having your router and modem cuddle does not make them any faster. Like in fact, it'll probably make it slightly slower because there will be no ventilation and heat will build up. Sorry. My flight feels like it's going to be longer all of a sudden. The in-flight entertainment system seems less than stable. No such file or directory. They got some corrupted storage there. And a bad interrupt. Oh, you got all sorts of problems. These kind of things always give me anxiety because I'm sitting there like, I should be fixing this. Oh, I feel pressure to fix this. Desktop. I mean, it's a very effective doorstop. You have to agree. It fits a wide surface area of the door. It comes in just below the window. It has a great grip, great weight. Good doorstop. Good doorstop. You try doing that with a Microsoft Surface, okay? The computer at my factory's die store. Yep, there are pieces of infrastructure that will make your skin crawl when you discover that they are being run on Windows NT or like, you know, badging systems and HVAC and building management systems and security cameras even. Yeah, you thought Windows XP and Windows for workstations was obsolete? It's still alive and well. Traveled 1,000 kilometers to fix 5 brand new desktops, which are slow for strange reasons. Strange reasons. Yeah, did you read the unpacking instructions? Did you look in the computer? Just to be like, maybe there's some packing material I should leave it, just remove, so the computer can breathe. Is this still under warranty? It should have been made with better material. Brought into my tech shop today. Better material. For what? Put it on a stove, I think. I don't think your warranty covers being a dumbass. This key after 10 years of entering orders at my grandmother's shop. Okay, that's actually cool. I like stuff like that. Like when you eventually replace that keyboard, I would take the enter key out and like just keep it somewhere, like put a little tiny frame for it and just put it somewhere. Cause like that's thousands and possibly millions of sales. I don't know what your grandmother sells, but like that's many of these. Like that's the entire business right there. That's cool. I like that. Racking painters. Oh no, what they do now. I'm staring at this. I'm still staring. Oh my God.
That's an HDMI cable.
That's a VGA cable. Usually boardrooms. It's an older type of video cable. And they just painted right into the whole cable. And that's probably run up into the ceiling. And you gotta pull the entire thing.
It's a thing for video. I got it somewhat right.
Dispatched about
but it got painted, so that don't work no more.
It was epoxied to the desk. They had to cut it out for us. They okay, well, I'm glad they had enough faith in the computer to think it would be there forever. All I gotta say. Landscaping guy cut the cable and tried to fix it. A for effort and creativity, but not quite. The customer said they got a few channels, but internet was a no. Yeah, I'm sorry, landscaping guy. Wow, you know, you got the right idea. Cable, like cable internet and cable TV is on coax, and that's basically like a one core and another little outside core. I'm simplifying it. But this guy kind of got where, you know, looked at it and figured out kind of what was going on. And yes, it'll get TV, but you won't be able to broadcast stuff back at this point. Like, you won't be able to get internet because you won't be able to send a request. Saw this on Lifehacker today.
Yeesh.
Wait, oh, it's the clip art at the top of the articles. It's Life. Have you never read They make this cute, stupid art all the time. Like, it's nuts. Oh my God. Are you actually taking this seriously? That just comes off as incredibly neckbeardy. I'm sorry. Dell hard at work, brand new out of box. Trying to image a got no boot device found. Oh, whoops. I was staring at the left side of it, trying to read the label or something, no, they just didn't plug it in. Wild. It seemed like it was getting bigger. Then the screen popped off. iPhone 3GS. Ah, we've made another bomb.
And that's it for today. Sorry I wasn't very talkative. I was distracted by things. Yep, fluffy pillows, Capri Suns of Doom. Oh, bye. I'll see you all next time I stream. It was fun hanging out with everybody, but I gotta go play Possum for a little while now. Later. If you're here watching after I've uploaded to YouTube, thank you for watching. Comment down in the comments if you feel like it. Leave a like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications, all that good stuff if you feel like it. At the end of the day, I'm doing this for fun. It'd be cool if I could make a living off of this, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up for that. So, bye.